Good afternoon. Today is the 30th of August and this is part 7 of the slightly Shambolic shuffle around Rustival 3 for 2025. I'm here at British Motor Museum at Gaydon in Warwickshire. I do apologise in advance if I get things wrong, if I fall over, if there is wind noise. I'm afraid just wherever it goes in this channel. There is a reason why the videos are called Shambolic Shuffles, and don't forget that please. Also, we don't talk about diesels, we haven't since 2018 and 3,000 videos, so you know, if you're complaining that I don't, then your comment will be ignored. So we're going to start with this 2010 Subaru Sambar TT2, the supercharged engine with 660 cc's for K-car regulations and all-wheel drive, because, well, why not? I mean, that's always what happens, isn't it? Incredible. Right, move on to the Citroen AX GT, 91-92 registration. I think we've seen a different one of these actually before. This is a late pre-facelift one. I think facelift was about 1993 from memory. Can't remember exactly. Next we've got a Seat Leon ST. This is for 1.4 FR model of our technology. These are actually one of the better estate cars you can buy. I drove one of these first of all in 2019. I sourced another one for a client recently. They're actually very good. You just got to make sure you buy them carefully. 1987-1988 Citroen Visa GTI. I think the Visa and the AX did overlap for a while, viewers. This, I think, is the same engine in it as a Peugeot 205 1.6 GTI. Right, now we've got Spot the Difference Mark III Golfs. We've got 3 of them. They're all 1.6s. I can't remember if they're S's or SEs. This is a 2001 2.2. This is a 2001 with yellow wheels. And this is a 2000. I don't know how we tell them apart. I honestly have no idea whatsoever. We can look at the back. Oh, there's another one here. That's a different model though. Yeah, they're sort of all the same. That's all I have to say, viewers. We will move on. So we've got this Caravan Micra. Automatic, okay. I think the automatics were on the 1.3s from memory. No, sorry, no, it is a 1 litre, okay. That is a first facelift one. It came in in 1998, the first facelift, from memory. Renault 5, a Super Sank actually, this one is. Hello, we photographed your beautiful car. It's actually in quite nice condition actually. So Renault 5 automatic, if they were just their own trim level like the 205s were. Portsmouth plate could have been registered originally down in the area. In fact, E and J Jarvis SO14, that's in Southampton, so it's not too far from there. And then we've got a 1989-90 Mini Mayfair. By this stage, not called the Austin Mini or anything, just a Mini. Looks very British, apart from the wheels have been changed, but apart from that, looks very standard actually, like most of the Minis. So next, you've got a very nice Jaguar XK8. It's a 96 with a very early one. £4,000. Call Alexander on 07769 343 349. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. Then we've got a Citroen Saxo, quite a late one actually. This is the last year they made the Saxo 2003. They were sort of replaced by the C2 and the C3. This is the Forte, which was kind of mildly warm sort of model, I think 73 horsepower on a 1.4 TU engine, something like that. Anyway, next we've got this Rover 2200 SC from 1973-74. P6. I think this is one of the only P6s that have been here today actually. I don't think we've seen many. Contrast to Rover Fest, which we saw tons earlier this month. Then a Toyota Corolla E110 from 2000. It's a 1.6 automatic. I really like these E110 Corollas, viewers. I think they are brilliant cars. They're nice to drive, they're easy to drive. They don't rust, they tend to be very dependable. Brilliant. 2004 Lexus SC430. For sale, £5,900. Good money actually. Call 07968 196 268. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. And there's sensible second-hand classics money viewers, so that's interesting to know. Personal plate then on that, I imagine. Mark 1 Laguna. I drove the Mark 1 Laguna a little while ago actually. This is different from the one I drove because this is a much later one, which is an Alizé. And yeah, there you go. I'll like to tell you what year it is, we've got a personal plate, so I cannot. This CR-V looks a lot nicer than the one that I drove earlier this year, which has actually been scrapped now because it was a bit rusty, unfortunately. Yeah, 2011, looks quite nice. We've got a Civic, let's get this right viewers, this is a Mark 8. I drove one of these, a Type R, quite recently actually. And then we've got just here a Hyundai Ioniq 5N. I actually was going to drive one of these last year, but I chickened out on the last minute because they're £66,000 and I thought I'd be destroyed in the comment section if I drove one, so I didn't. Maybe I should have driven a different one, I don't know. Anyway, Rover 114 SLI, 1995-1996 plate. That looks alright, doesn't it? Flame red, it's a 95, so it's actually a very early one for a Rover 100. So, Mark 4 Fiesta, hashtag rare but nobody cares on the window. What this is, like a SI or an LX or something, I'm not sure. Anyway, Aston Martin. I'm pretty sure, viewers, this is the only Aston Martin at this entire show. I don't think there would be any others at all.
Because of the ULEZ, the Land Rover can go in.
This is a DB9? It is, an early one. I did a DB9. I drove on the track a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to film it. An old Citroen. This probably is competing with the Austin 7 for the oldest car that's here. Citroen 1930. Mercedes SLK. Oh dear viewers, we've got some common rough spots showing up there. That's a shame, but they're very cheap, these cars actually. They're not worth too much money. So I found out when I drove one last year. 1989 MG Metro 1300. Drove this in 2022. It's owned by Alan, who is on Twitter, or sorry, not Twitter, Instagram, at Webmore. So they've got lots of nice cars actually. Him and Darren have got some fantastic cars. I've driven quite a few of them. They're very kind to let me have a go in them. That was a nice one, although the clutch wasn't very good at the time. Trophy Yellow 2003 MG ZS 180 with some reproduction plates on there. Drove one of these quite recently actually. It was good. I enjoyed it. Drove that back in, I think, April it was. Then we have a Citroen DS, quite late one. I think these finished in like 1975. This is a Palace model. Be like a DS23 or something. Yeah, DS23. So absolutely top of the range for the time. Another Palace model, some GS. Southampton plate actually, double A, or Salisbury sometimes as well. 1975-76 on a P. Next is a Mini Ritz. This is a 1985. Still got the ritzy interior. What a terrible joke, viewers. Terrible, terrible joke. Very nice. You've got a very brown on brown. Some handbrakes up there, of course, because it's where the stereo should be, because why put this handbrake in the place everyone else puts it if you're Citroen? And then a Volvo 145. This is a facelifted one. Very typical sort of early 70s colour, isn't it? This sort of orange colour. 72, 73. Then this T3 with I think a personal plate on it. Another Morris Minor. Obviously, I Drive a Classic is one of the main headline people of the show, so you'd expect lots of Morris Minors, and here they are. This was a 1963 on an A. I forget the name of this colour. There were several light blue colours available on Morris Minors, and I don't know which one this is actually. I've forgotten. So we've looked at some other Mark V Golfs. This one is a V5. It's quite rare actually. Didn't make too many of these. Unlike the 1.6s, of course, we made a lot of them. And here are some smart roadsters. A lot of them. Tons, in fact. This one's a Brabus model. Interesting. It's a shame they weren't more popular, these, actually, because I think they would have been really quite something that people would have liked, but I just don't think they're economical to build. That's a shame. Although they've got quite a following now, the gearbox, I believe, is not necessarily the best on them. It's a bit like the first and second generation Smart for 2s. Not really my sort of thing, viewers, I'm afraid. Obviously I appreciate them, but a nice manual would have gone down a bit better. Here are these Volvo S40s again. And this sounds something much more interesting to me, actually. Oh yes, viewers. This Mazda, which is moved as well, that's moved. Oh, and a couple of Mark II Cavaliers, fantastic. This is the first facelift one, 85, 86. It's probably a 1.6L. 1.6L is actually remarkably fast. I found that out when I drove an automatic version in about 2023. They were bonkers fast. So you see the first facelift there. This is the pre-facelift one, 83, 84, shed of the show. Actually, that doesn't look too bad like that, it looks quite funny. Right, Nissan Cube. Looks very different at the back because it's not symmetrical. So, someone's looking at the Volvo 480. I'm going to look at that in a second actually because I like those. Minor Million. Oregon plate. I think all of these were made in 1961. I've seen an entire display of these before. Obviously quite interesting. You can see a standard minor next to it, of course. Goodness me, this Volvo 480, it's quite a late one. It says 94, 95. It's from a dealership in Wales. And no, I am not going to say that. I'm not doing it at all. Trafalgar Blue 2-door Morris Minor, 69 to 70. Quite a common specification for these. There's actually quite a few of these remaining. You can pick them up for well under £5,000 if you want to. I mean, it's up to you really. Next we'll go on to a 240 because I suspect that V70 might be something we can't talk about. So this is the famous high mileage 240 GL from 1989. If we're trying to get to 1 million miles, I'm like 150,000 at the moment. Bike fuel. Next to it we've got this 86, 87 Volvo 740 GLE. Very nice viewers, we like this sort of thing. Presumably Mr. Richardson from Furious Driving has got a few followers who like 740s because he's had it for a while now. There we go. As a Volvo Owners Club member, of course, I like seeing them too. So another 145, 72, 73 plate. Lots of vinyl. So lots of shared bodywork and components with a 240 estate. The design lasted for quite a long time. Another 480. I drove one of these actually in 2022. It was a 1988 car. Most of them were ES models like this. This one's a pre-facelift.
I've got Prancing.
Similar underneath, of course, to the 440, 460, but very different looking. And a Volvo S60 P2. Imagine this is a turbo or something. It's a very nice colour, facelift model. It's not actually said what engine's in it. I'm just being optimistic at the stage because we've got a long left now. Then a 900 saloon, sort of 81, 82 registration. I drove one of these actually in 2023, I think it was. It was a 900 GL with a full-speed gearbox. The GLS, there's a bit more specification in there. 240 GLT estate, 1990-1991 registration. Why Volvo wanted to sell the 240, the 740 and the 940 all at once, I don't really know. It's a mystery to me. But yeah, GLT is very nice. Then another 740, actually quite close to the facelift. Facelift occurred in 1990 for these. And that is just a pre-facelift one. This 1800S has got some show plates on it. It looks like the car from the Saint. There are several ones used. There are about 4 or 5 actually. And this is one of them. That is a 67 car, I think. There's the Gangster Granny one again. Ooh, viewers. A facelift 760 Estate. Yes, please. Yes, please, viewers. Look at this interior. Tasty, tasty, tasty. We like this very much, viewers. Mr. Colton Rose Mechanic also like this sort of stuff. It's a 760 Turbo. Excellent. This V70, this P2. Facelift one's actually a T5, so we approve of that, viewers. Good old 5-cylinder white block engine. Absolutely brilliant. This is a 2004. We like P2 V70s, viewers. Very, very early 240 Estate, or 245 at the time. This would have been a DL model. They came out in 1974, which was when the red block engines were actually launched, or that version of them. The previous red blocks were overhead valve. This is an overhead cam. It's a very early one indeed. Excuse me. A D Special Citroen DS. Be from about 1969-70. It's got the older door handles on this, so it's before 1971, I think, when we changed them over. The DS remained in production for about 20 years, and they kept changing it to sort of keep it modern, and then it just remained modern until really it was discontinued both of the CX. Reliant Scimitar 71-72. The connection that you want me to make between this car and a certain famous person, I'm not going to make, because that connection is banned on this channel. We've got Rosie here, which is a Hillman Imp Californian, I think this is. Yeah, Imp Californian. I'm assuming on a 67 registration, but that's just a show plate, so I have no idea. This is Morris Minor from the Passion Seat podcast, isn't it? Becca and everything. I've never actually really watched too many of the videos, to be honest, but I know what the car looks like, and it's another Trafalgar Blue 6869 two-door. Then a Toyota Corolla GL. I love these little things. I think these are, does it look like an FX or something? 1.3 automatic, perhaps, sort of 88 on an E. Then we've got this little Honda. It's a Honda N-Box. We've seen an N-Box recently as well. It's a 2012. I wonder why they would port these, but you know, it's not a problem, is it really? Polestar. Forget the model of these. And then another Morris Minor. Might have been middle, so before about 1961, I think. So look at this Audi 100 Avant. So C3, I think this one is. So 1990-1991 on an H. Then Scirocco, 89 to 90 on G. Sorry, it's not clean hosepipe ban in Yorkshire. Okay, that's a fair enough reason. Yeah, 89, 90. I love the tail lamps of white cars like this, like that. It's amazing. And then I think this is the final car for most of the event. There's a couple of others I just need to sort of cover quickly, but this is the final bit of this. This is the main part. DS from 1970-71. Very early Renault Superstank. This is a 1985. I don't think I've seen one this early before, actually. It's 5 GTL. It's quite impressive, really, that. So a Mercedes 200 W123 shape. This is the one owned by Mr. Miller from the Miller Corner channel in Classics World. It's a manual one. I know he has one of these, but I don't know if it's this one or not. Which I knew, I can't remember now. Then we've got some MG Rover action going on here, but first of all we're going to look at this Infiniti model. Why is it right-hand drive? I didn't think Nissan marketed the Infiniti brand in Japan. Maybe they did, I don't know. I don't think new everyday viewers. Infiniti Q45, 1993-1994. I think this is a very late MGB. I think this is the limited edition model with the silver seats in it. They made these right at the end in 1980, then everything closed down, which is very sad. Anyway, I think that's enough for today, viewers, to be honest. We might be doing some filming tomorrow at another show. I don't know at the moment, but we'll have to see. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below. And we'll see you again very soon for some more incorrect information.